name is Dick Wallace, and I'm president of the Community Youth Activities Organization, a nonprofit operating primarily out of Alton, New Hampshire. Today, what I'd like to do is talk a little bit with you and this group of people with me about risky behaviors by our youth and to some extent by adults too. The information is provided for the Alton community as a result of an initiative that we began some time back, collaborating with the Alton Chief of Police and the Regional Network Coordinator for Partners in Prevention, a Belknap County organization and working in the Alton area and other areas. The mission of this initiative is to inform and educate our community, especially parents and youth too, about risky behaviors and that the youth might begin to use and the adverse effect that they may have on the safety of our families in the community. And risky behavior, by the way, can be both by youth or adults and is likely to result in physical, mental, or emotional problems to either the individual and or people, or it is illegal perhaps. A goal of this initiative is to provide educational information and updates to our community that concerns risky behaviors by our youth and provide tips for parents. This is very important. Tips for parents to help them address these issues within the family. We plan to provide updates on a continuing basis to keep our community not just updated but aware of these types of social issues. The types of risky behavior is next, and I'd like to introduce our Chief Heath from Alton, and Tracy Fowler, who is the Regional Coordinator for Partners in Prevention for us. And they will be talking to you as well as I about what is risky behavior and what parents can do about that. And now, folks, I would like to introduce Chief Heath, our Alton Police Chief, who's going to speak about two types of risky behaviors. One is sexting and the other is social media. Chief?
Thank you, Dick. I appreciate it. So what is sexting? Sexting is sending sexually explicit messages via cell phone or instant messenger. As technology has advanced and cell phones have the capability to record and send photos and video, the practice of sending suggestive and explicit pictures has increased, especially among teens. Why is sexting a problem? Young people and adults have been exchanging sexually suggestive and explicit letters, messages, and other materials for years. So sexting shouldn't come as a big surprise. On the other hand, the ease with which photos and videos can be exchanged is a concern. A photo shared between two people can quickly become a viral phenomenon. We have seen this happen with various celebrity photos and sex videos over the past few years. Following are a few concerns about sexting. For instance, photos and videos sent privately can easily be shared with others. Some kids and adults don't know that once a digital image is out there, meaning that it's been passed from cell phone to cell phone or out onto the internet, it leaves a digital footprint, especially online, and you can't take that digital footprint back. And it is often damaging to young adults. 51% of teen girls cite pressure from guys as a reason to send explicit messages, while only 18% of teen boys say so. That's very concerning given the fact that there's already a power imbalance between young boys and young teen girls. Sexting is also currently illegal under federal law. It falls under the creation, distribution, and possession of child porn and is a felony offense. While some lawmakers are working to change this, others are prosecuting both the individual taking the pictures and those who are possessing them. Here are a few tips that parents can do in regards to approaching their children about the topic of sexting. The best approach to talk about sexting is to take a non-judgmental and informational approach. Keep the dialogue open. Leave room for your kids to talk with you rather than hiding things away. Try some simple conversation starters to break the ice. For instance, have you heard about this sexting thing? Do you know anything about it? I was watching TV or reading the news the other day and saw a story about some kids who got in trouble for sending sexually suggestive or naked pictures. This is an area where you would want to use your own language or your own term. There are other types of things that you can do to approach your children, like asking them about what they and their friends like to share online. Or, I want to make sure you're taking care of yourself and looking out for your friends as well. Rather than leading the conversation, make sure you listen to your teen. They may not agree with you about what is and isn't appropriate, and may have some compelling reasons why. Helping them think about the possible consequences of their behavior, and also the type of image they'd like to represent to the world, is one way to encourage them to come to their own conclusions. Now, we've been talking about sexting. Well, along the same lines, sexting also ties into another issue of concern these days, which is social media. In this day and age, the social media is becoming a way of life. Most teens use social media on a daily basis to stay connected with their classmates. Unfortunately, most parents are not familiar with the way social media works, so it is easier for teens to hide things. Social media has taken the community issues to higher levels. For example, social media provides a venue for cyberbullying to take place and for teens to exchange sexually suggestive and explicit letters, messages, and photos. The constant connection also provides teens an easy way to organize parties and arrange the sale or purchase of alcohol and drugs. A few tips for parents in regards to social media used by youth. Remind your kids that online actions have consequences. The words kids write and the images they post have consequences offline. Kids should post only what they're comfortable with others seeing. Some of your child's profile may be seen by a broader audience than you or they are comfortable with, even if privacy settings are high. Encourage your child to think about the language they use online and to think before posting pictures and videos or altering photos posted by someone else. Employers, college administrations, officers, coaches, teachers, and the police may view your child's posts. Remind kids that once they post it, they can't take it back. Even if you delete the information from a site, you have little control over older versions that may exist on other people's computers and may circulate online. Tell your kids not to impersonate someone else. Let your kids know that it's wrong to create sites, pages, or posts that seem to come from someone else, like a teacher, a classmate, or someone they made up. Help your kids understand what information should stay private. Tell your kids why it's important to keep some things about themselves, family members, and friends to themselves. Information like their social security number, street address, phone number, and family financial information like bank accounts or credit card numbers are private and should stay that way. Talk to your teens about avoiding sex talk online. Research shows that teens who don't talk about sex with strangers online are less likely to come in contact with predators. In fact, researchers have found that predators usually don't pose as children or teens, and most teens who are contacted by adults they don't know find it creepy. Teens should not hesitate to ignore or block them. Politeness counts. Teach your kids to be polite offline. Talk to them about being courteous online as well. Texting may seem fast and impersonal, yet courtesies like PLS and TY for please and thank you are common text terms. Tone it down. Using all caps, long rows of exclamation points, or large bolded fonts are the online equivalent of yelling. Most people don't appreciate a rant. Suggest that your kids resist the temptation to send a message to everyone on their contact list. Limit access to your kids' profiles. Use privacy settings. Many social networking sites and chat rooms have adjustable privacy settings, so you can restrict who has access to your kids' profiles. Talk to your kids about the importance of these settings and your expectations for who should be allowed to view their profile. Set high privacy preferences on your kids' chat and video chat accounts as well. Most chat programs allow parents to control whether people on their kids' contact list can see their status, including whether they're online. Some chat and email accounts allow parents to determine who can send messages to their kids and block anyone not on the list. Create a safe screen name. Encourage your kids to think about the impression that screen names can make. A good screen name won't reveal much about how old they are, where they live, or their gender. For privacy purposes, your kids' screen names should not be the same as their email addresses. Review your child's friends list. You may want to limit your children's online friends to people they actually know. Talk to kids about what they're doing online. Know what your kids are doing. Get to know the social networking sites your kids use so you understand their activities. If you're concerned about risky online behavior, you may want to search the social sites they use to see what information they're posting. Are they pretending to be someone else? Try searching by their name, nickname, school, hobbies, grade, or community. Ask your kids who they're in touch with online, just as you want to know who your kids are friends with offline. It's a good idea to know who they're talking to online. Encourage them to tell you if they feel threatened by someone or uncomfortable because of something online. You can then help them report concerns to the police and the social networking sites. Most of these sites have links for users to report abuse, suspicious, or inappropriate behavior. Well, that ends my section on social media as well. And I'd just like to take this opportunity to thank Dick and Tracy for inviting me to take part in this presentation. Thank you very much.
And thank you, Chief, for being with us.